Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome to Transformation Gold. We're in section 1. We're introducing enlightened entrepreneurship. And now we're going to move into chapter 3. Chapter 3 is simple daily discipline. Now in chapter 1 and 2, we introduced you the concept that opportunity is within your reach. Everything that is imaginable is within your reach. And then in chapter 2, we talk about having the awareness and being open to those opportunities at all times, identifying those income generating activities. Now it's time to introduce you to core coaching concept number 3, and that's going to be I am congruent. Now, many employees transitioning into entrepreneurship, they never truly master this core concept, number 3, which is the congruency that's required to really make it into becoming a consistently profitable, successful entrepreneur. Now, this is because the habit of trading hours for dollars and receiving a paycheck has been formed, and that can become a hard habit to break. The congruency, also known as simple daily discipline, is critical to the awakening of the enlightened entrepreneur success. Now, I use the term simple daily discipline because the word discipline by itself suggests challenge to most people. Throughout this transformation process, we're going to create the habits of simplicity versus addiction to struggle. I define discipline as the ability to give yourself a command and act on that command without hesitation. When we combine that with simple, it's the ability to simply give yourself a command and take a simple action without hesitation. The congruent entrepreneur decides and insists daily on staying congruent in the process of learning his or her industry, never gives up, and enjoys the journey. So there's the acronym for discipline right there. Let's talk a little bit about decision. Decision is the first step in becoming congruent. It's the beginning of transformation. Now, I've seen some transitioning employees make a futile attempt at becoming an entrepreneur without ever fully deciding to become congruent in the process in the first place. It's kind of like dipping your toe into the water, testing that water out, see what it feels like. It doesn't mean you decided to jump into the pool, though. I've seen this on a regular basis with people. There really isn't much commitment in our society, if you haven't noticed. This presents a lot of opportunity for you. Now, you have the opportunity to be the exception. What I'm suggesting is that you set yourself apart by breaking the lack of commitment habit fast. Decide that you're 100% committed to your own greatness, your own congruence, your own excellence, in your new business, whatever business and role you've decided to take on. In chapter 4, we're going to invest a little more time outlining some of the areas of self-excellence and spiritual enlightenment. They're going to enhance your career and allow you to make your own golden transformation. The range of exercise, diet, proper rest, personal development, spiritual development, your own meditations, reflection, just to name a few. These are all elements of golden transformation. Now, as I stated above, every transition begins with a decision. A decision will have to be made on your part if we're going to create a transformation together. So before you even read any further or even go onto this audio program any further, I'm going to go ahead and collect a decision from you. Now, I've never had a problem collecting decisions from people. It's also called closing. It's something that I'm actually pretty good at. Now, let's go ahead and ask this. Take a deep look into your heart. Answer the following question. Have you decided to become an entrepreneur? No or yes? Will you insist daily on fulfilling your decision to become through at least a 2-year process? That is a big question. Can you see 2 years into the future? Can you see yourself committing to this process for at least 2 years? Okay, big questions. Now, why do I say 2 years? From my experience, that's the amount of time that's going to take for most people to overcome their incongruency, to actually awaken to true enlightenment as an entrepreneur and operate with ease and production and without worry. 2 years. Once again, becoming an enlightened entrepreneur versus just your own boss is a process. That's not an event. Why would you ever want to become your own boss anyway? Well, common sense tells me that your interest in becoming an entrepreneur was inspired because you're looking for big results. Time freedom, that's a big result, right? Doing what you want, when you want, that's a big result. Contributing regularly to charitable organizations because you can, that's a big result as well. being able to be that stay-at-home parent that your children deserve. That's a big result. Big results are the product of big decisions. Most importantly, they're the residue of simple discipline compounded over time on a daily basis, also known as congruency. Insist daily on living in the now of your decision. Bam! That was a really powerful sentence. You made a fantastic decision to become an entrepreneur. Now your next step is living in simple daily discipline to insist daily on living in the now of your decision. This is where all opportunity is realized. It's also where 95% of transitioning employees fail. It's in the uncertainty that transformation gold takes place. The uncertainty will create discomfort, so be aware of it. Notice I didn't say can create discomfort. It's going to happen. You're going to have to push your comfort zone a little bit and step into the unknown. Now, discomfort is a necessary ingredient for transformation. The comfort zone is the greatest threat to the transformation that you're seeking. Allow me to break it down for you. Transformation gold implies a golden stretch or a stretch into gold. This cannot be obtained unless you stretch your comfort zone, that which is already comfortable to you. In order for a golden transformation to take place, you have to insist daily on living in the now of your decision to become that enlightened entrepreneur. Didn't your former employer insist that you showed up daily and be at work on time? Well, you're going to have to hold yourself accountable to that degree. It was this insistence that created congruency within the workplace. In the now of your decision, you have the ability to create congruency toward your dreams. This congruency, through production, will allow your dreams to become manifest. So insist daily on living in the now of your decision, staying congruent in the process of becoming an enlightened entrepreneur. Okay? Enlightened entrepreneurs are not wishy-washy. They're not wishy-washy about their decisions. They're not wishy-washy about themselves. Nor do they create paths of resistance by sabotaging themselves or their organizations. The congruent entrepreneur is the same person at home as they are within the operations of the workplace. As an employee, it's simple to put on a mask at work, show up for your best self for 8 hours, and then go home a completely different person. This type of incongruency will not serve you as an entrepreneur, nor will it serve you on your path to enlightenment. This is the first area where golden transformation takes place. Golden transformation is first visible with becoming a congruent being. Who you're being throughout the day is congruent day to day. This is the front door to entrepreneurship. If I had to sum up the definition of enlightened entrepreneurship in 10 words or less, it would be a congruent, productive, and spiritual way of life. Very simple. Now, in the process of learning your industry, you're going to be faced with a lot of challenges. Learn to fall in love with these challenges. They allow you to express your creativity and create new solution-oriented thought processes. These are the thought processes of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers and innovators. Be grateful for any challenges that you encounter. You're going to experience breakdown as well. Breakdown is also a key ingredient for transformation, and it's absolutely necessary. When I speak of breakdown, I'm speaking of the hardships that we go through that will ultimately break down our self-identity and our ego. There's a reason that recruits' heads are shaved when they arrive on the yellow footprints at Camp Pendleton. Breakdown of the recruit's self-identity, allowing for new growth, is part of the transformation process from civilian to Marine. The new self-identity that the Marine now possesses far surpasses the self-image of the civilian on day one that they arrived. Now, I'm not suggesting that anyone go out there and shave your head. That's not necessary. I've already done that for you guys. Don't worry about it. Just suspect and look forward to the breakdown of your existing ego and self-identity as the universe prepares you for growth. It's an awesome experience, and you definitely deserve to experience it. You never want to give up. Now, I've been blessed with a wonderful family, and for the most part, they've always accepted my uncommon decisions that I've made in this lifetime. I will admit, though, there's been a few occasions when my friends and family members thought I had lost my mind with some of the challenges that I took on. Now, don't be surprised if the ones that are closest to you, if they don't fully agree with your decision to become an entrepreneur, and then that's normal. You might hear things like this, well, you'll never make it, or that is the dumbest idea that you've ever had, or when are you going to grow up? That won't work. You're destroying our family. You're giving up our security. Get real. Who do you think you are anyway? Why don't you be a man? Or if I had a real man or a real woman, or you're stupid, you're crazy. Go get an hourly paying job. Don't become a trader. You can't trade our own money. All these other things. Now, maybe you've heard some of those things and statements already. Congratulations. You're making it happen. Here's what I want you to remember. Those statements will never define who you are. They only define the accuser as someone that has to pass judgment. So to help avoid some of the relationship challenges that might be associated with choosing the entrepreneurial path, I encourage everyone that has a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other to share your intentions of becoming an entrepreneur with them. Trying to hide a 2-year process from your spouse will be like Michael Jordan trying to hide a basketball from his wife. It's incongruent. Now, this doesn't mean that your spouse has to be 100% involved in your entrepreneurial career, although that might help. I never saw Michael Jordan's wife out on the court, providing an assist. Her acceptance of him as a basketball player was enough to allow Michael to become the greatest without forcing them to grow apart. Now, you're going to grow. Period. End of statement. Either you can tell your spouse from the beginning, strongly recommended, or they're going to see as you develop that, you're growing, and that could have some repercussions. A lot of times also, I want to let you know that the more successful you become, the more that your partner might have some certain fears. So as you do grow and as you do become, more successful, it's in your best interest to ensure that your partner that, number one, there is no one else. Number two, that they're a top priority to you and that that's not going to change regardless of how much success that you encounter. And I really want you to enjoy the journey. So now we talked a little bit about that. I've had the privilege of working with my family since I was 8 years old. Even though my father did pass at a young age, I did spend more quality time with him than most children ever do, and with both of my parents. And this would not have happened unless my father was an entrepreneur himself. I remember a lot of times, we had that old plain and blue trailer. My mother would be out there with Sun Landscaping. We'd all be working together. What an awesome experience that was. And the thought and the possibility that I could one day, be an entrepreneur myself and grow that company, it taught me how to visualize success at a very young age. All the experiences that I'm sharing with you and I'll share with others, they created that camaraderie that comes along with entrepreneurs. And it's something that we all share. Now, there's going to be times when you ask yourself, what in the hell did I get myself into? Take a deep breath, stay congruent, enjoy the journey. It's all part of design. I want to remind you that, making the transition from employee to entrepreneur, this is a process. It's not a one sole event. Just like that white belt, didn't become a black belt overnight, you're not going to have instant success overnight, or even in a few months for that matter. So you want to be able to stay the course, stay congruent, stick to the core coaching concepts that I'm teaching you in this book, and I promise you that your life will never be the same. So that's going to conclude it for Chapter 3 here. Stay tuned. We'll hop into Chapter 4, and I'll catch you on the inside of Chapter 4.